right, so this is Jimmy Babs, the legend, the man, the myth. We're talking to him today, and he comes from us from the other side of the world, the food rep, the salesman, the asshole.
Yeah.
The one everybody loves to hate.
The guy who's a hero 1 minute and the enemy the next in the same fucking sentence.
That's right. That's right.
Right? So we sit here, and it's good to talk to the guys like you because you're an outstanding dude. I'll tell you that right now.
Thank you.
We can talk with we have the shit side of the storm, right? So we have some good stories. You have good stories, but your biggest story, though, we got to talk about is why, how, and hell did you become a food salesman when you started as a chef? Where'd you start? How and where's your history as far as culinary world?
God, man. So it started.
Okay, that's good. Now moving on. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So I was.
He's like, what year was
I was
that?
15 years old. I wanted some money. A friend up the street was a waitress at a little breakfast place called Mr. B's Family Restaurant, and Mr. B was the owner's name. And I went in as a dishwasher. All I knew how to cook was what my mom would cook on Sunday breakfast. That's all I knew.
Eggs, bacon, toast,
just all that bullshit.
Right.
And about
but
2 weeks into
that's good at 15 still. You're still cooking something
so,
at 15, okay?
So 2 weeks into the gig, man, I'm loving it. I'm making money. I'm washing dishes. It's easy. I was really big into sports, so I needed some money to buy a new glove, because Dad won't get it. You had to go out and get it yourself.
Sure.
And I wanted to
anyone with gray hair today had that experience.
Yeah, I wanted to save money for a car. It was a car up the street. I really wanted it. It was a little 260Z. I wanted it, so I had to get some money. I had to get $1,000. And so I started working at this place. About 2 weeks into 2 or 3 weeks in, Abby, who's the server, who was my best friend's sister, came to me and she was like, Rick is not here. I'm like, okay, what do you want me to do? She said, you have to cook. And I will drop the toast and the English muffin, but you have to cook the sausage, the bacon, the eggs. I'm like, all right. I was never a type that was scared of stuff. I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's do it. Let's have fun.
Let's go.
There's no pressure.
Let's go.
Just do the best you can. Long story short, about 11 o'clock came. Mr. B walked in. We did 80 covers. Perfect. Everything was great. He was like, where's Rick? Rick ain't here. Jimmy cooked. He was like, I had no idea he could cook. Long story short, end up getting a position there. Worked there for about 6 months, and I'm like, I really like food. It's fucking easy. My brain just goes with it. It's easy. And I was like, I started to look at salaries of a chef. Just looking, and I'm like, I can get paid to do something that's really fun, and it's not hard. It's easy. It's just timing. It's just doing it. And there was a European chef named Joseph who ran a deli. I don't know if this was the biggest blessing or the biggest curse, because when I left school, I had to be at Joseph's at 2:20. School let out at 2:08. So I had to ride my bike. And I remember the first time I was late, I literally had to sweep his parking lot where he pulled his car out and made me sweep. I learned how to turn carrots and potatoes and rutabagas.
Sure.
For a long time after that. Bags and bags and bags and bags.
Right.
Just total punishment.
Rutabagas too.
Yeah, but he taught me the whole brigade. He taught me everything.
Accountability.
Yes.
Kitchen accountability.
Yes.
Look at me in the camera, everybody.
And then from
kitchen
there,
accountability is a lost thing, so get it back.
I went from there to Scale and Whale in Portsmouth, which was a very busy seafood restaurant. When I say busy, it's 500 to 600 covers every Friday and Saturday.
That's crazy.
The old people will know what Scale to Whale was.
And you were cooking.
Yeah, so I was a line cook there for about 3 months, and then I was the write up in the paper, all that, youngest chef in Tidewater at 18. I took over that place.
So that's back in the
18 years
day.
old.
You say that like it's so far away, but Now with the internet and stuff, it's hard. But I miss the days of having all the write-ups in the newspapers and the magazines and
Current,
being able to
portfolio,
put
Visions
portfolio,
magazine,
right, and be able to put these things on the wall, frame them. They were really good write-ups. And we don't do that much anymore. We barely even have the newspaper anymore, you know?
Correct.
So back then we had the walls of trophies, and I have a lot of them, right?
Right.
But right now it's hard. You have to almost print off what was written on the internet about you if you want to put it up on the wall. It's kind of sad because it's just another time gone. So when you worked your way through that, chefing it up, dealing with food reps, dealing with purveyors, seeing the whole realm, what made you step out of the kitchen and into that? How long ago? Where did you start? What was your deal?
So, 2002, I thought I had pretty much. I was a corporate chef for a hotel firm, also. But some places, you know, Calcutta's, Red Maple Inn, 3 East, all that stuff. I thought I had did everything. I was bored with the area.
Yep.
I was like, it's time to move. So at the same time, my dad was not doing well, but I had this grandiose idea that I'm leaving. I'm gonna go to a big city, and I got an opportunity to interview for a corporate chef position at the Buckhead Life Group in Atlanta.
Okay.
Flew me down, met them, looked at all the restaurants, accepted the position, flew back, went home. And I'm like, oh boy, I can't leave my dad the way he is. I literally can't leave. So I called the guy back, and oh my God, it wasn't a good conversation. We're friends now, but it wasn't a good conversation. So a friend of mine was a food rep, and he's like, Jimmy, listen to me. Work with me one day, and you'll love it. He goes, he's an ex-chef. He goes, all we do is help people throughout the day of what they need, of what we already know. So the product knowledge we've already got.
So product knowledge is a huge thing. It's coming from the world. Now, that's my next question. Do you feel that coming out of the world with all that product knowledge going into the world has helped you be a successful food rep? And two-part question.
Sure.
How many of those people you see coming into your industry now do not have the culinary background, but they got the sales background? What's the difference between the two?
Well, we're in food sales and other sales, but we're really not salesmen. To be good at this job, you're not a salesman, you're a servant. You are ready to go at any time when you need something. Because when you need it, you're not waiting.
Well, the reason why I deal with you is because you speak that way and think that way. You don't realize how many other people in your industry don't feel that way.
Yeah. So if I do a lot of peer-to-peer stuff at work. Also, I deal with my past life too, the past job of just the day in the life. I remember teaching a class, the day in the life of a chef, which, I mean, as a salesman, what you do from the time you wake up to the time you go home. And one thing is, home is your enemy. So I'm going to say it. There are a lot of people in this industry, in my side, that will go home at 12, 1 o'clock and sit and wait for an order to come. I get home at 7 p.m. every evening. I leave the house at 7:15. I act like there's a big orange cone in front of my door when I walk out. I open the door and I kick that fucking cone down because we got to go. Yep. Because my chefs are ready. They're not going to wait. If I don't give them an answer, somebody else is going to. And
correct. And we'll find it.
Yes.
We will find the answer. If I ask for something, I'll know my reps pretty well, and I'll know what part of the day they're in, and I'll give them that grace. But if I don't hear back from them, you'll know this, I'm moving on. Got to go on. I got to get with my answer.
And I've learned this about you. That's no offense to me. You just got to get it done.
That's it.
Yeah, that's fine. I've learned in this industry, you have to be 100%, you got to be accessible all the time. If you don't know the answer, you better find it now. And be correct. Because if I convince you to do something and it doesn't
pan out
the right way,
yeah,
you're up my ass.
You say it's good you say that, because you know how many fucking reps that I've fired because they led me on to believe something it was going to be just off word of mouth. And I designed a whole menu, specials, wine pairings, staff training. And when the product shows up late and frozen, and there's nothing I can do with it, and I got to kick it the fuck out the door, it really pisses me off, and that'll get somebody fired quick.
Absolutely.
I don't have time for that, you know?
And it should.
Sure.
It's true.
So if someone's going to tell me I'm getting fresh ossobuco coming from this farm here and this da-da-da-da-da, and it was fresh when they killed it and put it in the freezer, but when you came to me, it was nothing of what you said. It wasn't on time. It was late, and there's nothing I can do with this, period. Because I'm not cooking it anyway. However, you know what I mean?
Right. So you just spent money for nothing.
Or wasted a lot of time on something else.
Absolutely.
Focused on, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Going into a Friday night with wrong information is not easy. It's not a good pill to swallow.
Right. Because the
some
customers are coming.
And then you guys got to deal with everything, because what's worse than some reps sometimes, and I'm just going to say it here because I hope they're listening, is the fucking disrespectful nonsense drivers, the delivery guys who bang their carts off your walls and drop things off that are supposed to be in the fridge, and they're putting them out back just because they don't want to be there. There are so many people like that you guys take a heavy rap for a lot of that.
Right.
Right. So what do you feel about that shit? I mean,
what I feel about it is, it's in my situation, I feel like there's an open door policy to have a coaching lesson with that driver. In other words, like in the beginning with you, we told him where to put things.
Yeah.
You have to do that
Very specific.
every place you go. And especially with these things called key drops. So key drops they don't deliver at 11 or 12 or 1 or whatever. They deliver at 3 or 4 in the morning.
When nobody's there and you trust them to have a key to your fucking restaurant.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing. It took me many years.
It should not be, though.
It should not be. No, it shouldn't be. But it's not that I trust that they're going to go and steal or anything like that. It's I'm going to trust that I am so particular with my ingredients. If something belongs in a fridge, I don't know their time, the temperature controls and their danger zones, and I don't know where the hell they've been. I don't know how long their truck has been sitting outside. Or if they got here at 3 a.m, did they take a nap in the truck and they got my key? And I don't know that stuff. So there's a lot of things I don't know about it. So the key drop to me was always scary because I never knew what the hell they were doing once they dropped. You know what I mean? It's not so much about, are they in here stealing your stuff? I'm not worried about that. You know what I mean? That's easy. That's easy to find out.
Well, I personally think nowadays you can let that guard down and know that the freezer stuff's going to go in the freezer, the cooler stuff's going to go in the cooler, the dry's going to go in the dry, and it's going to be exactly the way you need it.
Yeah.
Every time.
That's the way you would expect it.
Yes, because we're coaching.
Yeah.
And look, our drivers are the best in the business. I know people say that. They really are.
Your drivers do a good job. There's no doubt. You can definitely tell the difference. I'm not going to call any other companies out by any means, but I've thrown drivers out of here. And a matter of fact, there's one back there right now. I know who he is, who keeps slamming the fucking door while we're recording, where it clearly says don't do that.
Directly on the door when you walk in.
So he's literally doing it because he's a fucking moron. And I want to go out there right now because I'm telling you right now, if I wasn't spending money on recording this, I'd go out there and tell him to get the hell out of here.
It'd be a whole nother episode.
Because he's a moron.
Calm down, dude.
He's a moron. You're a moron. I hope you hear me.
I think he walked back outside again.
You know what I'm saying? But he's here right now. As we're talking about it, he's slamming
thinking,
the door.
I've got 11 more stops to go.
I don't care about this.
Yeah.
I mean, but the bottom line is
put a towel in the door.
That's just the type of guy he is. He doesn't give a shit about nothing. You know what I mean? He don't care if your packages are broken, busted. He's like Base Ventura, kicking the damn box down the street.
Shaking it, throwing it on your porch.
Right.
Delivery. That's okay.
Yeah. So I think in our world, just being accessible is very important. Being current, keeping up with the times, and to me, from the chef background, that's fun.
Yeah.
No, because I'm not touching it and feeling it like you are every day now.
Right.
But I am seeing through all the training we have is all the new products as soon as I can. Okay. See what I mean? So that's kind of cool.
Well, you also know what you're talking about. So that's the thing. I only surround myself with reps who literally have been in the field, and it's not because they're in the field and I'm being biased. Have you been in the field? Okay, you can come here. I know it by talking to them. When I'm asking them their product, when they have product and catalog knowledge, or they know what they're talking about, or they know what it is you're looking for when you're looking for a certain cut of meat, you may not have what they're asking for, but this hanger steak might work in this application, or this culotte or something might take up for that hanger we don't have. Try a culotte, something like that. That's what I'm looking for, and that's what I think most chefs are looking for. No nonsense people who can redirect the narrative. when the narrative ain't going in your favor. You know what I
And
mean?
do it now.
So if I need Romanesco and you can't get it, you can tell me
Right.
something off like a purple cauliflower or something. You
Correct.
can offer something, and
Right.
I either say no or yes. But
Right.
to offer nothing comes from lack of experience in the kitchen. You know,
And lack of care.
correct. You know, if I talk to a food rep, and I ask them, do you guys carry castor sugar, for instance? Right? No, we don't. But just run this really fine sugar through a processor, bring it down as much as you can. Okay, good. That's somebody who knows what the hell's going on. They've been in the industry. They can help push through it, and they know that you have a sugar finer,
Right.
but it's not castor, and we can maybe make castor out of it. That's your next option.
Right.
Or I go to another rep, but at least they have the intel and knowledge
Right.
to be able to say something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that's where we look at when we're looking at our people. You know, that are reps. And I think any reputable chef or any chef who has a love and passion for the actual ingredients themselves are going to have a connection with their
Food's
reps.
so fun. It's
Food
so
is fun, yeah. And talking to reps like you know, me and you don't see each other as much as we have to because we don't have to.
Correct.
You know what I mean? We have an understanding. You know what you're doing. I know what I'm doing. I know what I want. My
Right.
chef de cuisine who orders knows what he wants. You guys
Yes.
speak, and when I have an issue, I call you, and it's typically fixed within minutes, right?
Yes.
There's other reps out there who constantly cause the problem, don't answer the phone, and they're the reason why the whole fucking problem.
Well, here's a question for you. And
Let me hear it, Jimmy.
Do you
Oh, I
think?
like it.
Do you think that you can get them better by you giving them a coaching lesson of, hey, listen, man, you've got to be faster. You've got to be more. Do you think, or would you rather just call me and be done with it?
It's
See my point?
No,
Like the
yes, so
time.
it
Will you
all
take the
depends.
time
That's an
to
individual
educate?
answer.
Yeah.
So that answer relies on the individual themselves. Are they up for constructive criticism, or is everything a defense? Which is typically the case most of the time.
Most people are very defensive nowadays anyway.
Right.
So,
So
yeah.
when people,
Yeah, I don't
when,
get that.
when
yeah,
people
I
just
don't
everything
understand,
offends them.
people
So.
It's
take
okay to
everything-
be wrong.
Yeah.
if you stand up for something, not even in a derogatory way, not even being mean or being whatever you want to call this shit. If you're not even being offensive, you're just blunt. I'm just blunt.
Right.
Look,
A little bit.
this, and this. They get upset. They get offensive. They get offended that you talk to them like that. How dare you? You're not their boss. Da 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 da. And essentially, yes, I am your boss because I'm not. You work for me right now. You may work for them, but you work for me because how about this? Get the fuck out.
Right.
Now go explain to your boss
Right.
why his account is no longer here.
Yeah.
Right.
Who's the
I'm going to
boss?
say something.
Yeah.
Actually, I love your point, and I think it goes deeper. You're actually not my customer. Your customer's my customer.
True. Same way.
Your customer's my. I have to make sure you can please your customer with the products that you're asking.
And that's
for from me.
exactly works both ways. I'm looking at you. You are the quarterback for the play. I need this play to go down. You're the quarterback. You need to send me and deliver the fucking football so I can
Right.
make the pass. Now fucking do it. You know what I'm saying? My customer needs this, and I need to give them what
Yes,
they
sir.
came here for.
Yeah, yeah.
And if I can't give them what they came here for because your ass didn't bring it,
Yes.
I'm in trouble.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and we both look
Yeah.
horrible. Right.
Yeah, we
right,
both
right,
look
right.
bad, right? So
Well, luckily we'll never get there. Well,
no, we do good. Now, you know what else is funny that a lot of people don't realize is the battle that goes on amongst behind the scenes
It's
with
so
the different
fun.
companies and their reps and vendors. I'll
Like
be sitting at the
Survivor?
bar. Like yesterday, I was sitting at the bar with one company,
Yeah.
and then he walks in, and I'm like, all right,
Oh, it's gonna be a rumble.
fuck him up, Jimmy. Let's do this.
right.
And you know, I'm trying to egg it on as best I can.
You
I
are.
was-
You are. I laughed. I went back there. I laughed my ass off. And
I'm trying to get him to fight. I want to see
the
a fight.
funniest thing, and no offense to who was here, but no offense, and this is the way I look at all competing reps. Look, people go after my accounts all the time. All right, I welcome it. It's not like I'm saying I'm the baddest guy to ever walk, but I don't worry about it. I cannot worry about
You don't have time to
that.
worry.
I have way too much
Let me-
going on.
Let me tell you why you can't worry about it, especially here in this area. Okay, you guys have allocations. A lot of them are run concurrent. So there are certain things that you cannot provide me that someone else can, vice versa.
Sure.
It's the way it is.
Sure.
I can't just go buy everything from one company. Though there are a lot of reps who think I should.
Right.
Sorry, you don't offer what I need.
Right.
And that's the end of it. So
Right.
now because you may only have, or they may only have 3 or 4 items I need.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's not enough to make a damn package.
Right.
So I need to give them a couple things more.
Right.
It's just the way it is.
Right.
But when you're in a good situation and there's a good loyalty between a rep and
Right.
a purveyor and a chef
Right.
or owner,
Right.
you don't have to worry about losing that because
I don't
it's,
worry.
right. You're
When I
always going
saw
to look
that,
out
I
for
didn't
you.
worry about that with you.
Yeah.
I just don't.
He was like, I don't need to fight today.
Yeah, I'm
No.
not. Actually, I'm going to the back to talk about an order guide we're building to help them order faster and better.
Perfect.
I'm not worried about 2 items that are going to be missing that, they're going to charge
They
you
may
too
come
much
back,
for.
Right.
come
Right.
back for anyway.
Yeah, so there's certain things I need that they have, and there's certain things that I need that you have. End of story. That's just the way it is.
Right.
Then we go to the other ones, the more small boutique style of
Sure.
these vendors that you guys can't even
Yeah.
touch,
Right.
Yeah.
and they can't provide what you guys provide, and that's bulk on other things I need. So
That's right.
Yeah.
it just works the way the fuck it is.
That's
man.
right.
And
Know
what
your place.
What has to happen is guys and
Know
girls,
your
because there's a
role.
lot of
Yeah,
female
know your
reps
role.
now.
Right.
There's a
your
lot
role.
more female food reps now than there ever has been,
Really
which is good. Yeah.
Really. And yes.
And
it
I
is
like
good.
it because they're out there driving and they
Yes.
get shit done
Yes.
too. You know what I'm saying? I think
I
it's been such
totally
a
agree.
man-dominated field for so long
Yes.
that a woman comes in and whatever she's going through, no disrespect here, but whatever it is she's going through as a woman that feels they need to fight with the man and get good. I'm not complaining because I think it's all great.
Oh, you're talking about it on the positive side. Okay, I thought you were trying to go
no,
for
on the
like
positive
what
side.
what cycle you're in of the month and how much of a bitch
No,
you're going to
no,
be.
no, no, I'm
That's
saying-
where I thought you were
That's
going
another.
for a
I mean,
second.
that's another
Typically
thing
when
we
a-
don't have to deal with.
Well, yeah, you don't.
Typically, when a woman has
No,
to
they
come
have to
in,
prove
they
themselves
have to prove
more. It's a
themselves, and they feel
male-dominated-
they do.
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
a male-dominated thing.
That makes
and,
more
and they're
sense.
and they're out there hustling.
Yeah.
So I'm all for it because I'm here for that. You know what I mean? I'm supportive of it. I love it.
Yeah.
So and I'm not saying it because you need to outwork a man by any means. I'm just fucking happy that someone's working.
wants to work.
I'm just happy someone's working,
Actually wants
and you
to
happen
work.
to be a woman. So that's great. You just happen to work. So I don't give a fuck what's driving.
Wouldn't
you,
it be
girl.
funny if
just do it?
If they could literally just see everything you go through every day? They pick up the pace instantly.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what it is because I've been through
You've-
it. It's
you've lived
just
it.
never freaking.
Well, that was the other part of
stops,
your
man.
question. Like, what's the percentage of reps that were chefs or worked in or like had that background?
That's a good question. I'd say 25%.
okay.
I'd say 25%.
Yeah.
But that's a good percent. That's a foundation.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good.
That's enough knowledge on the bottom level to
Yes,
be
sir.
able to make other men around you kind of
Yes, sir.
educated and hold
Well,
them
yeah, and
accountable.
you can help.
Yes.
Yeah, and
know?
you use that to mentor and help people
Yes,
that are your other
absolutely.
people like
Absolutely.
learn. Which
and
is
there's
great.
a way to do that. You got to be very productive in your delivery.
That's a good way to put it.
I
like that line. You need to be more
We can
productive in
we
your
can be scary
delivery.
sometimes. We
Can we
be
use
very-
that here?
Yeah.
Sir, can you please be a little more productive in this delivery?
Yeah.
Because you're boring us and you're putting this fucking show to
You
sleep.
need to be more productive
Right. Right.
in your delivery. That's gonna be That should be your T-shirts. You can get that on the back. Production.
Yeah. Somebody's already making it.
So what about all the, I always hear, this is one thing I've always heard about the food. I was a wine rep for a while.
Okay. All right.
So I sold wine for a while back in the day.
Okay.
So it's kind of the same. So what about all these things I hear of these reps going on these, winning these trips to go to Europe? And is that a true thing, or does that happen sometimes, or what?
Well, 100% transparency. I just came back from Cancun. I won a trip. It was only a 3-day trip. It was great.
So is that like back in school when you sold so many cookies, you got the bicycle,
You got the
or you
fries.
got the bracelet, depending on what you sold?
No, it's just based on your growth against the year before.
Your
and
like
because
you
I'm
have set
so-
KPIs that you guys have to.
Yeah, and
You're competing against yourself in a sense.
yes, compete and I don't need them to ever show me that because I do that automatically. I write down weekly what I did last week, and I go after that number myself, and that's just the competitive side of
That's
me.
integrity, though. That's how you roll.
That's
why-
just the
what
way I
showing.
do it. I cannot go to sleep knowing that, I just have to work hard. I don't know what it is or why. I just have to. I feel like I'm a piece of shit if I don't absolutely come home destroyed. I don't
Right.
know where. Or what,
No, that's good. That's
Your
I don't-
wiring.
so.
I
You're
don't
wired
know where
that way.
came from.
That's just what you like, man.
Yeah.
Some people like to surf. Some people do heroin.
well,
you
yeah,
like to work
for a long time, and
So
yeah.
it's let me ask you this: with the rising costs of everything, the eggs,
Yes.
the whole shit,
Yes.
everything. Are you watching the news, seeing what's going on, so you know what argument you're
Constantly.
going to get into today?
Constantly.
You know, like you know,
Constantly.
why is broccoli up this week?
Constantly.
And da.
Yes.
When is it going to get to the point where we can't make money off of it anymore?
When you cannot make money?
Us as the owner. So we have to run at a 30, 29%, 30% food, right? We have to do all that. It's getting to the point now if we're charging $75 for a basic plate of food.
Never. And this is why. The consumer that goes to the grocery store understands what they're paying at the market. When they go to buy their food, they understand that you are going through the same thing. Don't ever listen to me when I tell you this, please. Don't ever think they don't understand that, because they do understand that. And in your situation, and a lot they're smart enough to know if broccolini is doing this or broccoli is doing this, then you can move over to a different vegetable for a while until that comes. It's the shell game. And listen, in our world, I'll be 100% transparent about this. It's rough because we have to buy it. We have to buy it. You have no
choice. You got to buy it.
You've got a choice not to buy it.
Yeah.
We have to buy it. So we have to spend the money on it. So we can't go without, certain items. We have a 99.8% fill rate for a reason.
Sure.
And that's because our buyers care.
The things you're talking about more for those people listening, I would go with halibut, avocados, eggs, milk.
You just named high price.
Those are the ones that fluctuate where you have to have it. You have to have avocados with all the Mexican restaurants you provide. You have to have eggs because who doesn't have eggs in a restaurant? You have to have all these things. And now the chef or the owners can shop between who has the best. But I'll be honest with you, on this side of it, there's only a couple that have substantially different prices. Pretty much everyone's in the same ballgame. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's almost like you all are working together or something.
Right. No.
Bastards.
No. I think what that is just how we're riding the market, and you can't charge but so much. You know what I mean? So, and that gives you decision to know, okay, if it's $40 here and $39.95 here, I'm just going to buy from the person I like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think, but when it becomes 40 and 55, then you got to make a decision. Right?
Well, the decision has been made.
Right.
If you're frugal enough to understand food costs and really care about them, the decision's made for you a lot.
Right.
So that's what I kind of base it on. When someone walks in and starts asking me why I'm buying this from this, just bring the price down. I can't bring it down that low. There's your answer.
Yeah.
Right.
If you want to see me here next month to buy from you, I need to buy this now today.
Another thing is yield. Chefs understanding yields. That this price might be this, especially lettuce, 40 pound against 40 pound. Well, then you got where it come from, what was the water weight, what is the box weight, and then you literally break it down per ounce, and we're the same.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
So the yield on products and beef yields, and you get it. But as my job, I have to show those yields. I have to prove those
numbers.
Yields. Yeah, I have to. And when you do that, then
from servant to salesman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you said you were talking about it before we started recording of, you're choosing how much of that cost to pass on. So
Absolutely.
You guys have to deal with that too.
Yes, you
every
can't
day.
pass it. You can't pass it. I mean,
full cost.
How can you pass the full cost at one? You can't pass the full cost at one time because you can't afford to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you go to selling none. Right.
Yeah.
So that's not the answer. So it's a teeter game. It's a seesaw. You gotta learn how to ride that seesaw and not hit the ground.
Right. Exactly. So when it comes to arguing with chefs and stuff, do you find yourself in arguments at all with anybody? Is anybody disrespectful?
I don't argue. I give them, I think, God, man, that's a hell of a good question, because my arguments are not arguments. We have conversations. We have real conversations. In the
debate, if anything?
Yes, there's definitely a debate. But we always come to a very good end game. In other words, scallops.
Fucking
God,
scallops.
Right.
I'll fight you right now.
Right. I know, don't hit me.
God damn it.
U10s, we remember when they were $85. You know what I mean?
In a can.
Now
Now,
add $150 to that,
correct.
and that's where they're
but
at.
the customer still thinks it's $85 for us. They
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
understand.
yeah.
Why is it $38 for scallops? You fucking tell me. I was doing good selling a lot more cheaper. What are you talking about?
Right, exactly. Yeah. So then you get to the water content of the scallop. Is it a dry pack? Is it a true dry pack? Is it 7%, 17%, 24%? Who the hell knows, right? Well, you got to get that scallop. You got to sample that scallop. The chef part comes out. You got to pull it out of the can. You got to put it on a towel. You got to let it sit rest. You got to let it dry. You got to sear it in the pan correctly. You got to get sandpaper on it. And then you see what it looks like against the other scallop. And you go, okay, this looks this big and this looks this big. This is why this is $5 a case cheaper.
Yeah.
Because it's 10% more fucking water in it.
And your,
You know what I
your
mean?
searing
That's a good
becomes a
point.
steam, and you're boiling them now with the liquids releasing. And you
You're
know,
having an absolute conniption
yeah.
over the pan because now you're
Now-
steaming.
Now you're burning. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's just a pain in the
Yeah.
ass. So you're not getting a good sear. So, and then you get into the Japanese scallops, where that's the big hit right now, which not bad. I mean, they're okay. I don't understand the difference between the two. I get they're from two different parts of the world, but why the price is so different and the quality isn't that much different on a U10.
Right.
You know, so it's a little sweeter out of China actually.
Right.
So what's up with that, man? What's the game? They just haven't figured out that they could rob us yet. There,
Good product.
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
it is good product.
Yeah.
And but the thing is, why is it so much cheaper? Because they haven't figured out that they can play the game yet, or what?
No, I think that it's just the amount that they can get compared to what the American product can get
Right.
on the Boston and Massachusetts side.
Right.
I think it's just you've got an area this big against an area this big.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference.
There's a lot more scallop in them waters.
Yeah, yeah, and you know that product was actually an American scallop at one time that was dropped off the back of Navy boats.
Sure.
Yes. So it is the
Something
same.
brought it there.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
now scallop is a filter, so it's going to filter that water difference. So that's going to be the
difference
taste
in
and
the
the
taste,
color
yeah.
difference. But a very interesting product. It's not bad. It's actually good. I don't even want to say it's not bad. I sell
they're
a good amount.
The only difference you can really tell is in their texture, maybe, but really in the depth of the sweetness of the meat. You can tell. I can blind taste it out that way. Typically.
I see a little difference in the height.
Yeah, the height is less, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
So an American scallop has a much more height to it.
Yeah.
But then again, are those the water-filled ones you're talking about, or are these true U10s or U8s or whatever they are? You know what I mean?
I mean, I think they're true. I believe in this in the scallop world, and I've been to a few scallop plants that, there are no games. They're people might say they're games. These guys are working their ass off. They're starting with a product.
Everything about a scallop is a lot of work, bro.
It is a ton of
Just
work.
opening up the damn shell that they're in all the way through, cutting them out.
Right. And me and you have worked with fresh scallops, so we
Yes,
get it.
They're great. I wish
Yes.
I can get shells fresh scallops. Here.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Well,
It'd be nice to
I
put
know-
on a plate.
I know a guy.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to get.
JB?
Yeah, I know a guy. Yeah. We can.
I love it. No, I love working with fresh scallops, and that's a great thing. You open that up,
Yes.
cook it that on the shell, serve it in the shell. You can do some really
Amazing.
nice stuff
The
with that.
smell,
That's
the
fun.
Oh
ocean.
yes,
It's
rendered guanciale on there a little. Oh man,
Oh,
go
yeah.
all day with
Yes.
Welcome to Scallop Talk.
Scallop, scallop.
We just
town.
got real into scallops.
Yeah,
Right.
scallop town.
Sexy scallop time.
So what do you think about the whole thing? Do you think about as you travel around from restaurant to restaurant to restaurant to restaurant, you get a good bird's eye view of what's going on really in the industry? I know what's going on. I'm talking to other chefs, so I know what's going on. But I really only know what's going on in my kitchens, right?
Correct.
So my kitchen that you see all the time compared to others, do you think that this whole woke movement and stuff is hitting kitchens the way that they're talking about it through your eyes, or is that something that's still far reach from the kitchen?
Explain the local movement. What do you mean? The local produce?
Woke,
the local.
Well, like woke,
The
like
woke-
not
Oh,
as much
woke.
of the old school
Woke
brigade
movement, yeah.
style.
Being nice and not yelling and all that stuff that,
Yeah.
look,
The culture,
yelling to
I
be an
guess, the
asshole is never
culture.
cool anyway. I've done it when I was younger. A lot of chefs did it back in the day just because they can get away with it. But I don't believe it ever made anyone
I hope
cry.
that some of my people that used to work for me could watch this and chime in. Here's the thing. As a leader in the kitchen, everything is on how good you are the last plate. You have to be good every plate, every time, because if you're not, another restaurant is going to be.
Right.
And chefs that are chefs, I'm not talking about the guy that works at Applebee and his mom calls him a chef. I'm talking about the chef that knows the brigade and knows what it means, right? That, like yourself, that you understand what that means. And I think that employees that work for chefs get mixed up in thinking passion is anger.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Nothing is wrong with being forceful about passion that you want to go out because your fucking name is on that. And that means something to you and to your diners. And it would be really nice if they would just, you know what, chef, I get it. You're just passionate. You're not being an ass. Even if you are being an ass, you're just being an ass because it's what we have to do right now, right? Yeah. It doesn't mean that they're any less. It just means this is what we need to do right now. You're not doing this correctly right now.
Right.
And
so do it right now, and then we'll talk about later.
Yeah, yeah. So now there are some cooks that understand that they need that lesson, and they're the ones that really shine. They're the ones that go, you know what? You're right. I didn't do that right. That pan wasn't hot enough. I didn't clean that shrimp right. You know what I mean? I didn't cut that beef right. You know what I mean? I just cut down a 6 pound Pismo tenderloin, and I got 9 pieces. That means I'm going to be light. So somebody's going to a light piece of beef. I did that wrong. Yeah. You know what I mean? Nothing's wrong with that. You know, but to answer your question, there's a lot of tiptoeing going on.
Is there? In comparison to my kitchen, I mean, I don't tiptoe much, but I don't have to. My brigade that comes to me and works for me is educated. They've been in the industry. They come to me because they want to work in a spot with someone like me who has a passion.
That's right.
So I'm fortunate enough to have that. I don't have to be dealing with the line cooks of the world and the assholes and the drug addicts, and I don't need them people to get by. Right. I've already been that person, so I already know what I don't need. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I was that person back in the day, and then I grew out of it and became mature and understood accountability and responsibility. And it got me to where I am today. So I could just imagine right now, it's so hard for an up-and-coming kitchen manager / chef or whatever you want to call them to deal with what's going on. Because if you don't own the place and you're just working there, you can't say anything to these people without them. I feel bad for them.
Getting upset.
I feel bad for them. I feel bad for a kitchen manager who works for an owner, and the owner is not a chef, and he's not in the kitchen, and they're not there, but they're relying on this guy, and they all know he's not a chef. They're not the boss of him. There's nothing they can do. He can't fire him. There's no respect. So the second you tell that person to stop being an asshole or grow up or stop being a pussy or let's get the fuck together here, let's go, let's get your shit together, they want to run off and cry. It's a hard world right now for our industry because this is what I tell everybody, Jimmy.
Absolutely.
I'll tell it again out there for everybody. The problem is you can be as woke as the fuck you want. You can be as upset as you want. You can be as, you can be as frustrated as you want. You can be as caring and as empathetic as you want. But the problems in the kitchen have never fucking changed. Okay? You can be woke and deal with them differently now, but it doesn't change the problem. When a pan's on fire, you got to grease fire. When the fucking stack of tickets are out, when someone gets sick or someone cuts their hand in the middle of a rush, someone drops a plate on the last plating of something going over the pass, and now when that happens, how the hell is that problem any woker than the way you want me to respond to it? You see what I'm saying? The problems didn't get weaker. The problems didn't get more soft and empathetic. The problem's still the fucking same as when we were yelling about them fucking 20 years ago, right? So how are we supposed to consider the problem is different now? We have to worry about her feelings that dropped it or his feelings that dropped it on the floor in the middle of a rush. That problem didn't change. So how the hell is our reaction to it supposed to change?
Right. A pan of burnt bacon is still 33 slices of bacon that is burnt.
Right. So how do we? Well, next time let's not burn it again.
Yeah.
No, fuck that.
Right.
There is no next time. How do you burn bacon?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's funny when you really think about it.
It is funny. There's a lot of things you can laugh at.
You put it in, you pull it out, right?
I could sit here and laugh at all the things I've done.
Right.
Or all the things people have done.
Right.
And I can laugh at my reaction, but it was all necessary at the time. That's what happened.
Of course.
It's natural.
You got to go through the fail, dude.
So I don't believe that being woke in the kitchen, there's different things. When you're talking about your employees, when you're being empathetic towards their situation at home, their home life, maybe they're sick or maybe they're going through some things, that's different. And maybe their car blew up and they don't have a ride home, or maybe they can't afford Uber anymore because they live on the other side of town. All those things are something different. That's something more I can have empathy with and sit down with and talk about. But when you're dropping things out of carelessness and you're consistently doing the same thing wrong, or you're showing up late all the time, you are going to get the unwoke, wide awake fucking reaction to that. You know what I'm saying? Because the reaction, the problem you created is no different than if you would have created it 20 years ago.
Right.
So why do I have to act different towards the problem? It's the same problem.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You create a problem, you get the reaction.
Do you think some of the differences nowadays is when we were going through it and getting taught, it meant something when that chef taught you how to make the consomme for the first time?
Absolutely.
When you learned how to actually braise properly.
Do you know I have a guy that's been working with me for a long time who still hasn't asked me how to make one thing, but he'll watch, and then practice, but he won't have the fucking balls, and I taught him how to do most of the stuff in this industry, and he still won't. And this goes on all the time. This happens all the time. There are people that are afraid to ask chefs now because they think they're fooling the chef that they already know, or they don't want to act like that.
Nobody knows everything.
Of course. That's exactly what it is. They watch it on TV, and now you don't have to ask the chef, because instead of asking the chef and looking like you don't know, you go to the bathroom and act like you're taking a piss, and then you YouTube what you're doing so you don't have to fuck it up.
See, my brain don't even go there.
I catch them all.
Yeah.
I catch them all doing it. You
That's
know,
hilarious.
You think I don't have to go on things in YouTube?
Right.
Of course. Of course. But you got to say it. Of course, I look in recipe books. Of course, I look back at my books from back in the day, and of course, I reach out to chefs.
Right.
The only ignorant fuckers now are being taught that you don't have to do it. I guess it's I don't know if it's social media or the accessibility to all this information to where you shouldn't have to ask. But people are learning how to do things going on YouTube. They're learning how to make a demi or braise something, and then they're passing it off like they knew this already. They have so much experience instead of just asking the fucking chef or working with them. You know? Look, we can all sit here and cook Italian food or braise meats or do anything like that, but my style of doing it
It's different.
is what makes my braise different than their braise. My ossobuco is going to be different than their ossobuco. You can watch on YouTube how to make it generally, but my cooking method is what you're taking.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? When you work for me for 10 years, 7 years, 6 years, 5 years, you have picked up my style of my kitchen, of my method, of what is going on and why people come here, right? Then you're going to carry on with that. Yes, you learned how to cook ossobuco, but you've also learned how to cook it my way, which fills my restaurant 9 times out of 10.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So you may have learned how to cook ossobuco your way, and it may not be hitting as good as mine, vice versa.
Right.
Maybe you can make it better than me,
Right.
but the method of making it's the same.
Right.
But the extra twist we take, the extra timing, the extra
Yeah,
charring.
like you might put fennel in your braise, I might put carrots in my
Correct.
braise. Right.
Exactly. Or I may brown mine longer, deeper. I figured out a lower temperature to cook it than you, and maybe I learned how to fucking render fats differently so they're not breaking up as much, and I'm getting more protein out of them. There's a bunch of things you're learning by watching me that you're not even learning. You don't even understand you're learning.
That's funny you say that, because when I used to do my beef stock, I would actually take ground beef and burn it.
Yeah.
To get that deep smoky flavor.
Sure.
That people were like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
what is that?" Just
Get that
simple,
carbon.
little
You
tricks.
got to get that carbon on it. You know.
Yep.
But listen, we're starting to talk about food now as chefs, and that's my favorite thing to do. So I got to stop now because it's another episode.
Right.
But
sorry,
Jimmy, we know you're busy. Being a food rep, and you're a damn good one. I will say that you work for a great company. I won't say that because
I really
unless
do.
they pay me. But you know, it's you do a great job. We appreciate you. You have a lot of knowledge. You have a lot of industry knowledge.
Thank you.
Period. And that's why I like working with you. But I think it's good for people to listen to someone from your side of the house when it comes to this, because you're a person too, and you need a hug. You know what I mean? You need a hug, buddy.
Sometimes you need a hug.
Sometimes, look, he's looking at me like I'm fucking crazy.
Until he tries to fight you, like fight another
I guess
rep.
sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I mean, it's okay. I mean, we get beat up every day. It's just what you go through, you know?
Yeah.
It's just part of it. You get beat up every day too.
Every day.
So, I mean, it is what it is. Look, it's no secret for me. I work my ass off for my twin girls at home and my wife.
And that's the bond.
I get fatter and she gets hotter, honey. I love you. She's absolutely amazing.
That's the beauty of the restaurant industry. No matter what part of it you're in, we're all kind of on that same common ground. We're all working our ass off for the betterment of our situations at home, and just like any blue.
Be honest,
person,
I work for my. I love the people I work for.
Sure.
They're amazing people. They get it. I left one to come to the other. It's the best move I've ever made. No offense to anything. I didn't want to talk about it, but it just naturally came out. The people I work for now, they're simply hard-working, caring.
And we'll end it on that.
That makes
That's
it
amazing.
so much fun.
We'll end it on that. What he's saying is take care of your fucking people.
Bingo.
Listen
They'll
to
take
them,
care of
hear
you.
them, and they'll take care of you. And
Yeah.
that's the end of that for today. So, ciao for now.
Yeah.
Wow.